What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we are back today with a monthly events video guide for you all. In today's video, we're going to be going through the monthly events in regards to how Scopely has redefined the way they unlock characters, but as well, we've seen the last few months with these monthly events, there's been a lot of confusion in how these events are run, how they're coordinated, as well as maximizing. Definitely frustration among players and the community where they just don't understand, they've been playing the game on and off and trying to do the best they can, but still not able to actually unlock these milestones. So in today's video, I'm hoping to kind of shed some light on that in regards to walking you through step by step, how all these different milestones get compiled into the one main milestone. And then we'll talk about some quick tips and tricks, as well as maximizing them and how to streamline your gameplay and what to pay attention to. So that said, guys, you may have seen it already, but the monthly events history, ever since starting May, this is where the 1 month events have started. We had Spider-Woman starting off with the A-Force. Next up, Dazzler with the Unlimited X-Men team. Mighty Thor, part of that new reworked Heroes as Guardians. Deathlock, most recently Bionic Avengers. And upcoming September, Abomination, part of the Gamma Squad. That's going to be needed for the unlock of Apocalypse. Now, you can see with each and every one of these characters, they play a pretty pivotal role in their team, which is why I can't stress the importance enough of really being able to prioritize and unlocking these characters. And the worst part is that, we're not really going to be sure when any of these characters come back into the game. That's just a consistent trend that we've seen with these newer characters, especially if they're powerful characters. There's a more likely chance that they're going to get delayed to be released additionally in the game, as opposed to their weaker counterparts in the other aspects of their team. So that's why, guys, I can't stress this enough. It's really, really important. We have 1 month to actually capitalize on each and every one of these characters when we can. And obviously, the real world and life around us happen, but if there's any way that this video can help you guys streamline that gameplay, this is really my hope and my goal here. That said, I do want to simplify things for you guys. Monthly events. The one monthly event is one milestone, but it does require full engagement. And it means you need to be aware of everything that's happening and understanding each of the several sub-milestones that make up this one main milestone. This main milestone is going to sit with you for the 30-31 days of the month. And then in and out each week, there should be these sub-milestones that occur. These sub-milestones can occur, can include the following, right? There's these main sub-milestones that are the bulk of the sub-milestones group, and they're generally the main captured event for each week, followed by a Victory Blueprint, Coordinated Assault, and Rumble Blitzes, as well as other aspects. Keep in mind, guys, this is not an exhaustive list, but I am going to touch base on some other items that we haven't mentioned here, just because they aren't really milestones. They more so just add towards the points for the monthly event. The only way you can get points in this monthly event is going through these sub-milestones, and what happens typically is there's this featured item that you can collect. And these featured items are the only way to actually add points to your month-long milestone. So if you're wondering if you haven't hit a certain milestone yet and what's going on there, well, it's probably because you've been active, you've been engaged, but maybe you haven't collected some of the sub-milestones that you earned, or maybe you haven't achieved it yet. And that, by not collecting or by not achieving those levels, it doesn't get added to the main milestone. And that could be why you're falling short of achieving or unlocking that featured character there. Now, guys, I do have a screenshot here of the Deathlock August month event here. So I want to break down each piece here so that way you guys can really understand what's going on here with this main milestone. So for the month of August, this is the main one that sat with you for the entire month. And if you click on the rewards breakdown, this shows you the points in terms of how you can achieve it, right? So this is what I was mentioning earlier. There's these special featured items that you can clearly see that's kind of around that red box. They clearly have more points and add more to the total of your milestone. But as well, they also have these relay circuits. These relay circuits are also a featured item that can get collected through time throughout the entire month. But you can see here, each one is only representative of 1 point. So they're not a big deal, but don't get me wrong, they're going to add up. But the bulk is going to be everything in the red box, because those are the ones that are really going to be the difference maker of whether or not you can unlock or not unlock the featured character. So in this case, to the left of it, I did put in yellow font, Deathlock is unlocked at 30k points. So even if you add all the items in the red box, 2,000, 8,000, 20,000, 26,000, All of them only a total 26,000 points. So even then, even if you just didn't do anything else and you just aim for these featured specific items, you're still falling short of unlocking Deathlock. And I think that's the main issue that a lot of folks in the community are failing to understand, is that maybe they're just targeting these set items and believing that this is enough, but it's not. We also still need to make sure that we're collecting enough of these relay circuits, or whichever featured item in the future that's going to be part of this 1 point makeup. To the right as well, I've added in the white font color which events they typically relate to, but keep in mind, because each event is different month to month, they could change these around depending on maybe what Scopely prefers. Maybe they want to change up the difficulties, they can realign these, right? But I'm just going to go through what's applicable here so I can explain for each one. So for the 1 point relay circuits, for this month anyways, it consisted of the Coordinated Assault Milestones event. It consisted of Blitz Rumbles, which happen once each week, so that's 4 times per month. And as well, they also trickle in some 1 core offers, which are free. So make sure, if you guys aren't following Reddit, or I know like my alliance always calls it out in the Discord, but you can also always check, I guess, through your teammates and so forth, if anybody else has seen these 1 core offers. They're random, they're never announced, and you typically check the supply store to do that, right? But I check every 1 or 2 days, so it's not a big deal. My alliance also calls it out, so it's kind of nice I have that resource. But if you guys aren't sure, Reddit does an exceptional job where typically someone posts a PSA on there, and then they'll just say that there's a 1 core offer, and just go ahead and claim it because it takes only 5 seconds. Now, next up, we have these featured items that I mentioned before that make up the bulk of these points. And you can see for this month anyways, the Helium Neon Laser Pistol, that was done through a Blitzing Arena event. The Jet Boot, that was achieved through a Victory Blueprint, which essentially the bulk of it is coming from war refreshes and war attacks, so mainly a war-based event. I do believe that campaign energy is also added, but it's not much. Adamantium Arm, this was part of the campaign event actually for this month, where we actually also had to use Power Cores combination, but the campaign event where Viv Vision, if you were able to unlock orbs and open them, it added to that. So definitely one of the better ones because it aligned with a free-to-play campaign event. And last but not least, guys, the AI response matrix, and this one by far out of all of them is the most exhausting because this is the one where a lot of players have been blitzing nonstop to achieve Hulkbuster. So, you know, even though it's not worth the most points, the effort in terms of what we're putting in has definitely been the most because of us having the blitz and trying to maximize the shards. And last but not least, guys, at the very end, that you may forget, there might be web milestone, web store milestone. So this is not in the game itself, but accessible through the web store that's linked to your account. So if you just go to settings in the game, it's going to be to the left there where it has a web store link. So it's right there and then. So again, if you're not sure, just click settings in your game and it'll pop out in the web store, and then you should be able to link that up. But typically with the web store milestones, they generally help out with every event in some way, shape, or form, and they do change typically every week too. So yeah, sorry guys, I know this is information overload. A lot of these sub milestones here making up these points, all these different events, as well as on top of that, you still have to pay attention to collecting the the minor 1 point events. So this is why understanding each and every component here is so important to unlocking the character, because you really do need to pay attention to each and every one of these different segments, and they all come together ultimately unlocking the featured character. Now, I did want to kind of deep dive a little bit further into these sub milestones advice for you guys, because in case you're not sure what they are, that's why I can discuss here quickly, as well as some quick tips and tricks. The Coordinated Assault, this is the Alliance ISO 8 energy usage one, where typically it's one of the few instances that we can actually unlock ISO 8 blue level 2 for the 4, but specifically it also gives us access to the 1 point credit. So that's why it's important to be able to coordinate with your alliance and do this. Generally, when I see that this is announced in the blog post, I just start saving ISO energy like crazy, and then once the event comes around, having the saved energy refreshes definitely helps a great deal. Next up, we have the Victory Blueprint, and I mentioned it earlier, but this is mainly the war focus one, right? And what's helped for me is, and ever since I got into the rhythm of things, and I realized, the time that we need to save this, it's helped a lot in the milestones, is when you wrap up a war, just try not to claim it in your inbox, because what you can typically do is save a couple of these battles before the event starts. And when you claim these rewards in your inbox, it actually does get added to the event. So typically, if you guys lose track, just keep an eye on the Marvel Strike Force blog post, or maybe there's another Reddit PSA that tells you to save your war credits, and that way when you claim it, it's going to add back to your balance right away. And that's what I've done, and it actually easily helped me with this victory blueprint one. The refreshes too. Make sure that even if you're engaged or not engaged in war, just make sure you're refreshing your energy 3 to 4 times per war. It builds up a bulk of the points, and that helps a lot for getting you to the victory blueprint. As well, making sure that you're buying the war energy in the blitz store, just refreshing your war, because you're gonna be needing to replenish that anyways as you refresh, right, and attack. And then last but not least, guys, another hidden one is just buying the war credits in the elite, in the war store, and this is using star credits that you kind of earned already, the star tech credits. So try to save that up, guys. Right now we don't have to even use it right now. I would actually just encourage saving that, because those ones are pretty costly, and the best part is now we have this lull in time here before the next victory blueprint, and we can definitely save up. Blitz, the only advice I have is just try to save as much teams as you guys can, so that way you can automate the process, and aim for wins over team synergy, because you really want wins to actually be adding to your points total in terms of the victory, right? Like for instance, this Hulkbuster event, they don't care about which teams we use. They just care they're only going to reward us fragments if we win. So typically you can use like a powerhouse like Kestrel or Silver Surfer, and then put 4 weaker allies on this side, and they can usually solo team themselves. So that's kind of what I've been doing to minimize the number of blitz credit refreshes, but as well as getting more wins, so that way I can actually build up more fragments, adding to that milestone. Campaign event, most recently this is the Viv Vision, as I mentioned earlier. Just save power cores. Power cores are going to drive how often you can farm the nodes in the campaign events, and in doing so you're going to be able to get more attacks and therefore farm more fragments, which result in orbs. These orbs then will add to that milestone event. So again, the only thing you can do right now is just be involved in arena if you can. Do the best you can. Save your power cores. Try not to use it if you don't need to. Obviously in this case, because we have an active event, please feel free to use power cores when there is set events. And then keeping an eye on the web store, guys. The web store, like I said, is kind of an X factor. It can be a wealth of things in terms of providing a value for all the other events, and it changes a lot. So that's why it's important to be engaged in the web store, and then as well as keeping an eye on those 1-core offers. Last but not least, I have it in star here, guys. If you're just losing track of all this information and what's going on, this is the overview, right? But always, if you have a few seconds in the game, just go click on the Milestones events section and see what milestone's active. I understand all these different events. Even I lose track of, and I'm a pretty engaged endgame player, and I lose track of which milestones are happening. And sometimes I'll just pop into my game, I'll go to the event store, and then I'll see that there's a milestone 0 that just opened up and got added into the events, and I'm thinking, oh, what is this? So that's the best point of reference, right? When in doubt, just check the milestone events section. See what's happening, see what's changed this week or this day, because I know every day or every couple days something can get added, right? But generally with these main sub milestone events, they generally last about a week. So if you can see that the event's winding down, there's likely going to be a refreshing event that's coming up that's going to be a part of this month-long event. So there you guys have it. That's pretty much the overview, and I want to use this feedback to give you guys a heads up then for next month, right? Which in this case is going to be the unlock of Abomination. So far what we can confirm is that what's consistent and hasn't changed is that there's going to be for sure coordinated assault and 1-core offers. That seems to be the trend. So again, this is the ISO 8 energy. Start saving, guys. This event is not happening yet, so start saving your ISO 8 energy. Victory Blueprint or refreshes. This is another one you can start saving your star credits. You're going to be utilizing that. Leading up to the blog post that announces the next Victory Blueprint, make sure that if you guys do win or lose in war, just don't claim that just yet. Leave that in your inbox. It can last about 6 to 7 days, I believe. So there's that time gap where you can keep it in your inbox until the event runs and go ahead and claim to get a head start on the event. Blitz. They always utilize Blitz just because it's easy for Scopely to implement. So this one, nothing to be really prepared in advance. Maybe start setting up some teams if you have downtime. Campaign event, this one really just saving your power cores if you don't need to. And as well, the web store is something that's always been consistent in the previous months, so I can't see it changing. What it involves is going to be different though. Sometimes it can be blitzing, sometimes it can be raids, sometimes it can be arenas. So really, up to them in terms of that. But lastly, the one new thing that has been announced, it's a little different from the previous months we've seen, is gold spending. So my one last recommendation for you guys is to start saving your gold, because we're seeing a new gold event that's coming that's going to be part of this sub milestone. Is it going to be recurring afterwards? I'm not sure. I think they're going to see if maybe it rakes in revenue for them. If it does, they will likely keep it up. But for the time being, guys, try to hold back on your spending. Maybe reduce it, because we know that there's going to be some gold spending to come. That's going to be part of a milestone adding to the unlock of Abomination. So I hope this video is able to clarify for you guys overall in terms of the makeup and how to go back again to this main milestone build up, because this is the same structure that's going to be going forward. Regardless if you guys watch this video after September and so forth, the structure will be the exact same. So we just need to be mindful of how to achieve these milestones. And again, if you guys are ever in doubt, please make sure to go just check the milestones or events page in the game. And generally, it's going to be a self-explanatory process. So let me know if you guys have any questions or comments down below. Thank you as always. I hope this video is able to help you guys progress and understand how to unlock these month-long characters. Thank you as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.